I'm waiting. Are you okay? I'd like to start and just say I think our students were ridiculously good tonight. They were so loud and they provided so much energy. It made the game so fun. And so thank you to our fans and our crowd. That was really cool to be a part of.
There where there was a 7-point swing, you got the technical foul, they cut it to 2, and then it seemed like the crowd really woke up. Is that kind of what you're referring to? The players maybe?
I thought they were good all night, but certainly after that, Seamus, what was the run after that? 36-15. Yeah, I mean, I thought that there was this long pause, and sometimes you worry. They're at the monitor trying to figure things out, but I thought our kids really came back and played rock solid. James hit a big shot, that helped. But that second half, we knew that against Coach Willard, it's the Patino, kind of system, that it would take a while for us to figure out what they're doing and when they're man, when they're zone. I said in the pregame stuff with radio and TV that I thought we'd play better as the game went on. And we did. And I thought what was evident is you saw Palmer hit big shots, make big plays. Copeland made big shots. I think that, Glenn hit a big 3. Thomas hit a big 3. Nana hit a great pull-up. And that were really important plays, all of them. And then you can see, Isaiah Roby had probably the best 90 seconds of the night, and that's about all he had. But people can see why we want him in there.
Did you feel a certain comfort in those kind of tough situations with this veteran team, with a veteran?
There's no doubt. I feel that what I feel comforted with SIP is that they show up every day to work. There's not really this change of demeanor. They know what needs to be done. So when you're communicating with those top guys, you can do a lot of. We have smart bigs, which changes everything because now you can scheme it up. Second half, we took Isaac Copeland, put him right in the middle of the lane. Changed their whole screen and roll game, and then we just switched out on the whole thing, and it stopped all that screen and roll stuff. And most guys aren't that might not make that play. The players. But we said, Cope, do it. This is how we're going to switch it out with Glenn or one of the other guys, and they handled it really well. Didn't even give up an open look, and so I thought that was really important.
What was your thought process with James? Obviously starting 0 for 8. You're just going to let him go out there and do his thing?
I have no idea who's 0 for 8. I can't read these new box scores. So, that's what I'm going to take issue with the NCAA is what in the world is going on with these box scores. And so I honestly didn't know. I knew it wasn't good. I didn't think we were taking quality shots. We took way too many 2s. I think we were at halftime, I don't know what the numbers were, but they were awful from 2. And which means we're not playing well at the rim. We had been to the foul line some, but the idea is let's just keep moving the ball. Let's keep sharing it and attack when we can attack.
Powell was 2 for 11 in the second half after 5 for 10 in the first half. What did you think of the defensive effort on him, especially in the second half?
Well, it takes a village because you've got everybody on him. First of all, Glenn was awesome. Glenn really did a nice job on him. Amir Harris made an appearance and did a nice job on him too. But, you still got to help. And, they were attacking Tanner. They were attacking Brady, but they did a better job as the game went on. And because we couldn't keep Isaiah in the game. But, just all of that stuff, I think Cope got switched on him too. And, everybody did it. But, and he got our full attention. He was going to get our full attention. And that was really important for us to get him under control. But yet we have to keep everybody else under control too. And I think Seton Hall will get a lot better as the year goes on, as they figure out their rotation. And we were lucky the Thompson kid didn't really get much going tonight, just like Isaiah.
How did you feel overall about the defense overall, and how do you feel about this team's just defense in general?
I think our defense is good. I think that I'm concerned about our rebounding ability, but I thought we rebounded fairly well tonight. Yeah, we did. But and those two things, although they're separate skills, they run obviously hand in hand together, right? The more opportunity we give them, the worse it is for your D. But I like where we're at with our defense. I like our three-point defense. It's odd, but 3 years ago we made the shift. And the first year we made the shift to less attempts. Our opponents shoot 40% against us, right? But we moved way up, like 115 spots in terms of three-pointers attempted in terms of where we had been previously. And now the last 2 years we've been very good at contesting all those shots, and first 3 games have been pretty good. So we have to make it hard for people to make threes.
Is that what you were lighting up James about?
Yes, because he was kind of hopping around, and then he came and blocked the next shot out of bounds. I'm like, you can dominate the game when you just put your mind to it. And he can on both ends of the floor. You just got to remind him what side of the floor he's on sometimes.
This is your first real test for the season. What, obviously it's minutes after the game, but what did you learn about your team, or what's this say about your team?
Well, I like their defensive effort. I like their stick-to-itiveness. The fact that they just kept lengthening out the lead. I don't think we gave up the lead shortly after the first couple minutes of the game. And it's one thing to do that at home. Now it's going to be another thing to do it away from home. That's important. We beat a quality opponent. It's well coached and is that a difficult system to go against and beat them handily. So I'm very happy with our mindset, and we know we have to get better with some execution stuff. But yet, the way they did it, and they're constantly changing their ball screen coverages, sometimes you just got to figure it out on the fly. And the thing I'm not happy with is foul trouble with certain guys, Glenn and Roby especially. And but we got to get that figured out. Our screen and roll coverage with those 2 younger guys, well, I call Tanner a younger guy, he's not, but Tanner and Brady has to get better. So we have a lot to work on. But and then we got to get more efficient on offense, like always. But when you spend so much energy on defense, and we do, there's not many free looks. Like you never just see let me take that back. It's not very often that you see just a wide open shot for our opponents, and that doesn't come easily. And we don't switch a lot, and we're not zoning a lot, so that's a lot of effort, chasing screens and closing out and taking away shots, and then running into rebound too. So I know that offense might always be one of those things we're working on, and I'm okay with that because we have to be built with a defensive identity.
You had the foul trouble with Roby and Forger pretty early. How much were you kind of scrambling, I guess, to kind of make that work?
Yeah, well, probably more of it was unknown, like how is Amir going to respond? How is Nana going to respond? And I didn't think Tom had a very good first half, so we had challenged him, and I thought he was much better the second half, really good the second half as the half went on, and after the under-16 timeout. You're just trying to figure it out. You're like, okay, I got to give him, this kind of, whoever it was, just put somebody's name in there. And so, but we just knew, I knew that we were going to, once Roby got that third, or even his second so early, that Brady and Tanner were both going to play. And that's not so uncommon. I would like to play Copeland and Palmer a little less, but they're built for this, and we're ready to do it. This is, my first year, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had 5 Big Ten games. We didn't sub in the second half. And we were able to win games, and that was we're doing that with like 7 scholarship guys that year, and I think they won 5 or 6 games. Brandon Ubell's here tonight. He reminded me last night when he said, "What do you think on the sub?" And I'm like, "Do we have to sub?" And he's like, "We didn't," and he's right. So, but it's a long year, so you need to keep things level too.
You feel like you needed a game like this, kind of the way it played out, it got tight.
No, I like all the first 2 games. I want them to be like the first 2 games always.
What does it do for the confidence, I guess? Is it affirmation of anything that you guys thought about yourselves going into it?
Without a question, I think that players build confidence, and we were 0 for the Villanova and in the Gavitt games. We were 0 for against St. John's too. So I think that mattered too. A guy like Copeland, it matters too, and he's a former Big East player. So I think there's just some other things too about Deshaun Burke is from New Jersey, so we wanted to make sure and take care of him. I thought the kids did a really nice job, and they should gain some confidence from this. And now we've got a new challenge in front of us. Quality teams going down to Kansas City, and we'll need to win there too.
With the environment of today and for the opponent you faced, you mentioned earlier this week about how it was a step up in competition. Now seeing how this played out, is this team at where you thought it was at, or above, or maybe below?
Yeah, I try not to get there. Seems like when you set your expectations, certain places you get disappointed, either too low or too high. I just want us to go to work every day, be a good team, be able to make the adjustments we need to make, and then develop our rotation. So work on those weaknesses, keep getting better with our strengths, and then work on the depth of our team, get those younger guys up to speed. But we need competition to do that.
How much do you like your team, especially after seeing what happened?
Well, I love these guys. Yeah, I mean, I just really like coaching these guys. I mean, I told them that too, and I said, I mean, they're just, you can do a lot of stuff with them too. When I say do a lot of stuff, I mean you can adjust, you can draw it up on the board, you can be a little unconventional like we were with the screen and roll D tonight, and they still figure it out, and that's important. And they're not all there, but those top 5 or 6 guys are there.
Do Roby and Watson just kind of have a sixth sense to pull something like that off?
Yeah, I didn't even see Roby until he just appeared, like up there. I'm like, whoa, but yeah, that's a naked screen and roll. So that's Glenn knows by the positioning what's there and what's not. So, but yet he seems to find Roby on that alley-oop pretty well.
100th career win. 100th career win.
Let's not stop there. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.